What 2024 has brought to financial markets? Well, if you are following news around the world last year, you know that this year has been pretty hot because, let's be honest, Middle East is in the chaos. War in Ukraine continues, and United States got re-elected Donald Trump as their president, and that certainly will bring impact across the globe and to financial markets. But how this all actually reflected in financial markets? Here's the thing. Actually, this is quite interesting because, well, stocks went to all-time highs, Bitcoin went to all-time high, and gold is at all-time highs. Pretty astonishing, I would say, because, well, you might think that this instability might bring some sort of market collapse or whatnot, but no, economy was robust and markets were strong and corporate profits were really good. But now let's check this all out into detail and see what's what. Let's start with Nasdaq, and we see that Nasdaq actually made pretty phenomenal rise by entering 2024 at around 16,400 and ended it at around 22,000. So this is like what, 30% gain, and this is for second year in a row. Because simply see where it started 2023 and where it is now. Like this is phenomenal run despite everything that has happened in the world. And similar case was with S&P 500 as well. So where we are, we started year at around 4,800 to round it up, and now we are at approximately 6,000 at end of 2024. So this is also 20+% run. And if we calculate it from early 2023, then this is not double, but close to that. We started at 3,900 and ended at 6,000 levels. So these 2 years have been made 20+% back-to-back returns, and this is pretty rare thing in financial markets. And if you consider that global economy and global world is not stable place at all, this is phenomenal. But why it is so? Well, answer is simple. It has been driven by technology companies and giants such as Nvidia with their artificial intelligence angle are leading the way. Because see, early 2024, Nvidia is like what, $49? Yes. And then fast forward to late 2024, early 2025, we are at $150 per share. So one of the largest corporations, one of the giants of their industry, dominates technology world, and yet it managed to make threefold gain in 1 year. And this is phenomenal. Why it is phenomenal? Well, not only because the absolute returns for like last couple of years are phenomenal, more than 10 years since late 2000, tenfold since late 2022, but also because the largest technology stocks are not only corporate giants with huge profits, but their returns in the last couple of years has outperformed largest cryptocurrencies as well. Here we will see this with Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin also made respectable gains because it started its year at $42,000 per Bitcoin and briefly went all-time high at late 2024 at 108,000. So all-time high, surpassing previous height of approximately 70,000. But in percentage terms, that's slightly more than 1.5 times, so 150% gain, give or take. And this is comparably less to what Nvidia has made. And also, if we look further outside of Bitcoin, you see, for instance, second largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum, rose from approximately 2,200 to 4,000 at its highest peak. So it's not nearly as much as Nvidia made and less than Bitcoin made. And that's the important thing here. Without some exceptions, the rise in cryptocurrencies has been very volatile, and this doesn't reflect times in 2017 or 2020 and 21 when overall crypto market rose, and that growth was simply phenomenal. That rate simply dwarfed all the rates which were gained by largest stocks and other assets. But now returns of cryptocurrencies are less to those of largest stocks. And if I were a crypto investor, I might ask myself question, maybe crypto assets as a whole are mature and the returns wouldn't be much greater than we have in stock market. But that remains to be seen. But simple fact is, in last couple of years, this rate of return hasn't surpassed returns of largest stocks, and this is important fact for crypto industry as a whole. But this was not only asset class which rose in 2024, because, for instance, commodities made spectacular runs as well. If we look at gold at beginning of 2024, we see gold was approximately $2,000 per ounce, and at end of 2024, it was briefly touching 2,800. So more than 30% rise in less than a year, which is phenomenal for gold because gold is not asset which you will make tenfold gains in 1 year. This is asset whose historical performance has been stability. If you look at gold's purchasing power 100 years ago and today, it will be approximately the same. And it rises more or less with inflation, one might argue. And that's why I would say this rate is pretty interesting because also major currencies were stable. There were no huge inflations and interest rates were at reasonable levels. So this is interesting. Yes, one might argue there is interest in central banks because they are de-dollarizing and whatnot, but still, that doesn't answer the full question here. But nevertheless, those who held gold, they had pretty good year. And rise in other commodities continued across the board because now if we look at cocoa, we see that, I hope I spelled this correctly, we see that it started its year at approximately 4,300 per ton, and then it rose to 12,000. So threefold gain for cocoa, and that means for good traders it was several fold gain, like more than 10 or 15 fold gain, because cocoa is traded on futures contracts and futures contracts are leveraged. So those who rided these trends made fortune. And similar thing happened with coffee as well, because here you see coffee costed approximately 170 and now it is 330, so twice the gain. In other words, it made approximately the same gains as Ethereum. And this is coffee, this is not some altcoin. So my point here is opportunities are happening across the markets, across the industries, and they happen all the time. So if you are only clinched to one cryptocurrency or one stock, which usually people do, well, you are limiting yourself with opportunities because commodities might rise and fall, interest rates might move, and of course other stocks and cryptocurrencies might move as well. And question is whether you are looking across them in different sectors and different industries. If so, then you have constant flow of opportunities because, well, we now go to final phase here and ask ourselves question, what happens next year? Will stock market continue its phenomenal growth by having third year with 20 plus returns? And will crypto continue its almost steady bull run, leading by Bitcoin when it rose from 15,000 to 108,000 in a couple of years? Or might be there be some corrections? And if so, what will happen to rest of the markets? Well, it's tough to say for me, and it's not my job to forecast markets. My job is to react on markets and tell you what are the possibilities outside of one coin or one market. And here I will say we will have some very interesting prospects. Believe me, just watch financial markets and you'll see. Because this world, this state of economy and Trump's new administration certainly will bring some interesting opportunities for us. But our trick here is to be open-minded and be prepared for everything. And this is precisely what we are going to do. So, thanks for watching this video. Let's see what 2025 brings us and we will make a lot of money.